Yeah, I think the content creation is something that takes a lot of time, frankly, because these days writing code become uh, easy, I would say. It's just,
How is it for you?
yeah, because one of the thing that is really important when you're starting any project is, and you need to spend a lot of time really, is, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah. So one of the thing I feel, and I felt at the start of this project and many other project, is where you spend a lot of time is your design and architecture. So when we started Not AI Pro, I mean, actually, I launched a course back then, like last year, and the plan was to create this product. Of course, the course I could not finish, but I almost took 3 to 4 months and took a lot of people's feedback, because my initial idea was to just create a wrapper around Go High Level. That's it, and then launch my own voice AI agents. And then
Mm.
then I started building the platform, and the platform was never meant to be for B2B at all, like the way it is now. It was never meant to be that. So we simply had, like, it was, you can say, a fork of Vapi. So it was
Mm.
more like a customer would come in, and then they would just create voice AI agents, deploy it. Under the hood, we'll use Go High Level, or we use our internal voice AI agents. That was the whole idea initially. And then I started taking feedback, and people were like clearly not happy with Go High Level voice agents because, one, they don't offer outbound. Second is, under the hood, they are using retail and still charging 6 cents extra. So why would people use Go High Level? Another thing. But the good thing about Go High Level agent was they already have an ecosystem of CRM, and that's just like right there integrated. So that was my point of view when I started. But then I started taking this feedback, and then I met with Shao, and then we did a long discussions about how we should actually take it. Like, because I was very, very pumped up about releasing my own voice AI stack, because last year I created this open source project as well, that actually went really good. Like, people were really liked it. So I thought I would just make it a product. But then
Mm.
I realized that managing a voice AI agent infrastructure is a quite a lot of, like, you can create the project, but then you have to manage it, right? And
And it's expensive, I think. I guess sounds expensive, no?
yeah, it's expensive, and even though you don't have customer, you still have to run the stack, which is expensive. And also you really need, and the other problem is hiring right people, because if you're running a voice AI stack, of course I won't, like, if it grows, I won't be the only person running this ops and operations, right? So we need to find the right people. And that's what I think me and Shao have discussed about, focusing on the business side of it rather than the technical side of it. So we could create a platform that would be more catering to business workflows. And that's why we said, you know what, let's write down what are the key challenges that we face as agencies.
Mm.
And the key challenges was not only technical, but rather how to sell, like the marketing part, and then
Oh.
how we can come up with a very simplistic voice AI agent that we can sell and that can be beneficial to business. And Shao have been extremely helpful on that because he was already selling voice AI agents. So we knew the sort of I think at that point, Shao, you're right. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are the only person who are selling voice agents in the UK, like putting
Mm.
advertisements and everything. So
Right.
we took those input and said, yeah, let's build this. So I had to, like, completely restructure the app that was already built. The initial bit was already built. The first scene, the landing page and everything that you see today, that was actually built almost 8 9 months back before we even launched it.
Wow. Okay.
uh, but then we had to change the internals of it, like the dashboard and everything, so come up with different dashboard. And that's where I spent quite a lot of time, I would say 2 to 3 months. And then on around April, we said, let's break the news, and yeah, let's see if people are interested. Let's see if we get some signups before we build it. So we had a very rough build, I would say. It was very bad, I would say, because we have been literally doing API call to Vapi, API call to 11 Labs, and it was messy because we soon realized that if we have lot many customer coming into the product, and we start to do this API call way, eventually Vapi or Retail will block our IPs, because we will be doing thousands and thousands of API calls from a single or two IP, and they will track it and they will block it, because it's literally going to crash their server, right? Just from one source. So we said we need to then now, that's why you have probably seen that webhook and service that we have announced that, okay, let's create a separate service which will tackle all the voice AI transcriptions that we get back from all this provider. So we created a service. So now what is happening, instead of we call Vapi and we call Retail, what is happening every time there is a voice AI interaction happening, those providers are calling our API, and we are getting the data, and we are sort of doing all the processing and everything. And yeah, long story short, I think now where we are, I think because we have our architecture more or sort of decided, it doesn't take a lot or long for me to create a feature or just create an improvement or fix a bug, because AI does a lot of the thing. We already have specialized agents created while we have been developing. So it's that's why we could come up with features very soon, very quickly. Having
Okay.
said, yeah, having said that, these are all end-to-end tested. These are not performance tested yet. So that's why we need you and others to start using the system, because then only we would know how much resilient we have built, or how much resilient all the processes are. Can it manage? Can it handle millions of requests? Can it handle 1,000 requests every second? We could not do that ourselves. Like we could not. We don't have that capacity ourselves to test that. So that's why I guess we are still discussing to like open up to few more people, so the platform can be now used, because we have almost all the feature we have envisioned when we started first. In fact, more than what we have envisioned initially. So feature wise, functionality wise, we have a lot of things running on into the platform. So
That's the thing. I mean, to me, it's super overwhelmed right now, to be honest. I mean, I really would like to start jumping and testing and doing things, but I'm getting a little bit lost. So once you are able to, I know you're running many things. So when you are have the time to update the classroom and adding
yes,
more tutorials,
yeah.
I will definitely be jumping in and testing. But right now, I'm like, okay, there's so much going on right now.
Yes, exactly. I know that. I can. That is where we launched this community, because initially thought that we'll create an OTA Academy community, but then thought then that would be really difficult to scale. And the other thing was, school and every other platform, they need some sort of membership because they earn money through it. So that's why I said, let's keep it outside, so people can join and at least learn how to sell voice agent, even though they use not AI or not, it doesn't matter, but they could
Mhm.
still see the value of what voice AI technology is, how it can be sold easily and everything. And in a way, we can use the not AI platform and show you exactly step by step, like how you use the platform, because you have literally everything that you need to sell, like to sell as a like, let's say you want to build a brand like Vapi, like you want to be a voice AI SaaS business, and you can do that with not AI Pro today. You have that capability built already. It's just yeah, you need to create the brand and everything else. So that's how we have built it. So you have Stripe, you have the email integration, like your custom email integration. That means any email that goes out of not AI Pro will be rebranded in your domain. You have two type of credits. You have one credit for customers. That means as a business, you can create AI credit plan for your customers. So when they sign up, they will say, okay, fine, I'll just buy some AI credit, and they start using the agent, and the credit gets automatically deducted. You could create billings. You could create metered billings. I mean,
I mean, I get that the whole idea. It's clear to me. It's amazing. It's really amazing. But I
so
guess hands-on, it's a little bit intimidating in a way because
exactly.
there's so much going on. So
And
but I totally get it.
yeah, and also there are phases, right? You don't want to use all the features at once. You want to
Right.
do step by step, like, okay, let me first create a simple voice agent, and let me start selling it, and then let me think how I can set up a billing, and then see how I can do like enable. That is why, every customer feature is separately you can enable. That was the whole reason why we kept that. For your customer management model, actually. Let me show you
Mhm.
that, then it will make more sense. So this was the actual thought of, let me just log in quickly.
Mhm.
Uh, 1 minute. Wait, share my screen. So yeah, so if you go to customer list, right, you have all of these features here. And we have kept like every feature as separate, like individual add-on. And the very reason of is this, that as a new user of the platform, you may not be familiar with what this does, what this integration does, what this knowledge base does. And it's fine. We know that it will take some time for you to understand all of these features. And that is why we always say, like, in the customer list, you can onboard yourself. So you can just onboard
Mhm.
yourself as a customer, and
Yeah,
then
that's right.
yeah, and then you play around it. Like, you enable one option here, and then you go to your customer portal and see what that have enabled. Of course, we will
Mm.
come up with all these videos, but still, this was the whole rationale, that you we don't enable everything by default, because that will make you as a partner confused, and it will also confuse your user. Now
Mhm.
your user will come back and say, hey, I'm seeing this knowledge base option, what does it do? And you don't know what knowledge base does,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think I get that. I think that is why we said we will do all this. Like, you see, for example, schedule meeting. So what does it do when you enable it? It creates a new section in the customer portal where your customer can book a meeting with you, like if there is an issue.
Mm.
So there
Mm,
are
yeah.
like plenty. There are API keys. So if you enable this, that means they can use the customer portal, and we will have a lot of API created. They can use those APIs as well to manage, everything. You have enabled team members. That means your customer can bring their team member into your customer portal, and still, let them manage it. Like, imagine you're selling it to a business, and that business have 2 3 5 employees, and of course the business owner himself won't be managing all the system.
Mhm.
So they can invite the team member. And the very reason why we kept everything as a separate menu is because you can upsell these features. Like, you have given the basic portal access as a free access, or maybe $100 per month access, and then you say, hey, you know what, I see you have been struggling. If you want to bring your team member, we also allow to bring 5 team members, and that will only cost you $20 a month. That's it. And they would
Mhm.
be happy, because 5 team members, $20 is nothing, and you just enable it. You have no extra cost, but you can upsell the feature. You can
Makes
upsell
sense.
phone number, you can upsell everything. And this was the whole rationale of it. And because this entire architecture is now set, like how we want to add on tomorrow, when we think of adding any new feature, all we know that what we have to do is we have to add it here as a feature, and then we have to add it into the customer portal. That's it. We don't have to do a lot of design and architecture analysis. And
Okay.
that's why we have been able to come up with features very fast. that's the
Mm.
that's the back, what do you call it, backstory or something.
Okay, great. If I may ask one more thing before you start, because it's related to, I guess, to what you're going to be talking about today. Because okay, this is very clear. Thank you. But now that you with the 8.5 and all this stuff that you said, it's going to be integrated inside of Naughty, that we don't necessarily need to go to VAPI or retail and do stuff like automation there.
Yeah.
My question is, are you actually wrapping those services? I mean, what
Yeah.
happens if they decided to change the way they connect to TCAL or whatever integration, wouldn't the wrapper gonna be destroyed? Well, not destroyed, but it's gonna be affected if they actually internally change something?
Yes,
The
it
way.
is. So that is where we have agents that's running always and keeping track of what's getting changed
Oh, okay,
on those
okay.
APIs. Like, let's say for now we have only done it for retail. And so what happens is, let's say retail changes the API. So
Yeah.
what happens is immediately we get notified that something has changed. And of course, to fix that, probably it will take few days. But so let's say you have built like 10 agents. This 10 agent is there in retail today. This is not going to break. The only thing that's going to not work is you want to create a new agent. That's probably will not work for a few days until we fix that after they have changed something. But the thing that is already running is going to run anyway. It's not going to be any issue. And they cannot change the webhook because that's the way. Imagine from a retail point of view. So retail is having thousands and thousands of customers, and all of those customers have hundreds and hundreds of agents, and these agents, they already have a webhook set up to get the transcription out, to get everything out. So they cannot change that overnight, because if they
Mm.
change that, they are gonna, and that actually happened with Vapi. They changed the interface or something, they changed the knowledge base, and immediately people left Vapi, and people
Mm.
started talking in forum that, hey, it's no more stable anymore. Because that's what happened, when you have customers, and you just cannot change it as you like. So it's going to be very difficult for them to just change it overnight. They have to inform everyone, and hopefully if we can get to know, uh, then we can apply those things. That is what
Okay.
we, and that is why we are not integrating any of the new platform. We are only integrating the one who is established. Like you think of Vapi, Go High Level, or Ultravox or 11 Labs. These are the platforms who are who are established in a way, like they have customers, they have large
Mm.
base customer, they have a lot of integrations. Because there are, if you search online, I think you will find new 100 brands,
Yeah, it's crazy.
right?
Yeah.
100 brands came of who are selling voice AI agents, but we are not bringing those in. The reason is because, one, cost, and second is because they might change, because they are new, and they might see
Mhm.
some new opportunity like us, as we are changing a lot of things. So they might just change, and then that will be breaking for us.
Mm. Telnix. I know you said that you included eventually because that one has a really good price.
Yes, yeah, yeah. 11 Labs is coming next week. Uh,
Wow.
it's it's already it's already in the development. It's just we need to test, and it will come next week.
Nice. Wow.
Um, yeah, I think let's give it a go. Shao, do you want to
Sure. Thank you.
do some introductory words or something before we move forward?
Yeah. I think this week um I have been super energized because I feel like Notty is moving into a new phase where we're going from very hardcore development into business commercialization. And so what I was talking to a bit about was, okay, how can we really help our users? And I raised things like, how about we create a scheme where we can help our customers to find their first customer?
Mm.
Um, we'll go through the steps. That's one way. What about if we offer something like, um, we can offer 100 clients or 1,000 clients free voice AI for life? Okay. Um, so some of the concepts that we were playing at was, retail offers a really good service, and if the customers are not using it, then it's not costing you any money. So in theory, you can provide a service to your customers. If they use it, they pay you, and you pay retail. But if they're not using it, then actually there's no cost to you, and there's no cost to the customer. So that's a really, really good business model, especially when some customers fear about the cost of onboarding. Some customers don't believe in the technology or don't understand the technology. But if you can offer a free service, then there is no barrier, because the customer can try. If they like it, great. If they don't like it, well, it doesn't cost them. And what Noti can provide is a very easy way for you to onboard a customer.
Mm.
So and that's what we want to promote. You know, if it takes you 1 or 2 minutes to create an account and set up everything for the customer, then your cost is low. So then you can find customers easier because you can say, look, you only pay for what you use. So those are some of the marketing concepts that we've been discussing. And the reason why we're doing this is so I started really selling voice AI at the beginning of this year. So in the UK, before me, there was a lot of people selling voice AI, but only to technology companies, to SaaS companies, to people who are already comfortable with dealing with APIs or connections. So when I first started, I was the first person to sell to the plumber, to the accountant, to the dentist. So I was the first one on Facebook UK to do this.
Okay.
And so when we first started, the results was quite good. And now we've got a lot of competitors, maybe 30 people that I can see on Facebook bidding for similar things or having similar advertising. So, but everyone charges a monthly fee, and sometimes a monthly fee and a setup fee. So but also there are now people looking for voice AI. So before we have to advertise, and now there are more and more people saying, oh, I've seen my competitor. When I call them, it's a bot. So I want a bot. So there's now people who are actually looking for voice AI solutions. So the market is getting bigger. There's more competition naturally. So how could we, as a community, be ahead of that competition? So if everyone's charging setup fees, if everyone's charging monthly fees, maybe our strategy is we don't charge monthly fees, we don't charge setup fees. Okay, and now we have two advantages. So number one is we can say to the customer, if you want a reception bot, okay, then you can have it for free and it's on retail. Okay. If you are if you need the best voice AI agent, then you have to pay because we use a better technology. It's ElevenLabs. If you want the bot to do more things like book a meeting, well, that's not free. That we need to charge you. So then you have two tiers. So the free tier allows people to experience. You get retail for that, and you can have a reception bot. So quite an easy setup. If you want a better quality service and you want the bot to perform more things, then we will charge you a setup and a monthly. It's going to be on the best bot, and we will work with you. So that's where I think as a community, where I would like our community to go. So you've got the ability to sell to people who are not sure. Okay, you've got the free option, and it only takes you a minute or 2 minutes to set up. So it's easy. The other thing that my agency has been quite successful in selling is upselling. So I'll give you an example. So we currently work with quite a few plumbers and electricians and builders. So they know nothing about technology and they don't really care about technology. One of the features that Knotty has is we can charge customers not by usage, but by result. So the number of leads we generate. So we can sell leads. And this is very useful for someone like a plumber or an electrician, because we're just selling leads to you. So you're not paying for you're not paying for a monthly subscription. You're telling me how many leads you want. I can help you to advertise on Facebook, on Google. When someone clicks on the Facebook ad, the bot calls, and qualifies the lead. And once the lead has been qualified, I send it to you, the plumber. I send it to you, the builder. So what the builder sees is just good quality leads.
Yeah.
And that is very, very powerful. In the UK, for a plumber, they're more than happy to pay 25 pounds for one lead. Okay. The
Okay.
cost of advertising is about £2 for a plumber.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So cheap
So
cheap
so
in I mean,
sorry.
that cheap? I mean, the $2 per click in the UK?
So
I mean,
again,
pounds?
okay. So let me qualify. It depends on how you do it. Okay. So for example, on Google, if you okay, let me tell you a little secret. So in the UK and the US, there's something called Google Local.
I'm familiar with it. Canada too, yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
that's like
Google Local.
$30, no?
Okay, so this is how you can play this. Okay, so number one, my opinion is Google Local is not very good if you don't have voice AI,
Mm,
because Google demands that any customer who clicks on your telephone number, you have to answer. If you don't answer, then you're going to be ranked
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay, so we use Google. We use VoiceBot for our Google Local. Okay,
Got it.
so that means we can always answer the phones 100%, 24/7.
Gotcha.
So that's number one. Number two is if you say that your company only works between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., okay, which most companies do, okay, but in reality, a lot of people, if there's a leak, maybe that's in the morning or in the evening, or all the plumbing companies are closed, apart from your company, because your company works nearly 24 hours because it's the bot answering. So,
Gotcha.
so you are available when none of your competitors are available. So that's the second advantage of using voice AI for Google Local. The third advantage is if you so Google Local, they promise that you are only charged on lead, okay, not on click, on lead.
True.
So if you but in the UK, Google Local is not allowed to listen into your phone call.
Mm,
So how do they determine whether this lead that Google has given you is any good or not? The way they do it is how long you stay on the phone for.
mm,
So if you stay on the phone for longer, then Google will think you are Google has given you a good lead. Okay,
mhm.
so I remember when we first started, and the customers called, and actually that person is not a customer; they want a job. Okay, so and the our bot will be having a 6-minute conversation with someone who wants a job and costing us both money on Google Ads and also money on calling. Okay, so we've changed the voice prompt. So if I work for a plumber, the first question the bot will say is, "Are you looking for plumbing services? Do you need
Mm.
plumbing services?" And people will say yes. The bot will continue talking. If the person says no, the bot hangs up straight away. So we've never been charged since then. We've never been charged extra for long calls. Okay, so that's another advantage. Okay,
Okay.
and so the advantage of the bot is able to work 24/7. The advantage of so it never misses a call. The advantage of the bot is able to cut the call down very quickly if it's not a lead, means that Google Local plus Voice AI is a very attractive offer. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, but if you're looking for cheap leads, okay, what you can do is you can so in the UK you can advertise for plumbing services, but your plumbing services is available UK wide.
Yeah.
Okay,
No local.
that's when
Okay.
it's cheap. Okay,
Gotcha.
that's when it's cheap, because if you so if I wanted just London, okay, then my cost per lead is anything between £15 to £20, so it's quite
Okay.
expensive.
That's what I
Okay,
was thinking.
but if I said to Google, I want leads from anywhere in the UK, not just London, then I'm paying something between £1.50 to about £2. So then it becomes cheaper. So then,
Right.
if you have lots of plumbers, okay, on your database, then because when we did the results, you know, a good 20% of customers are from London anyway. So then it's a case of, okay, you can do your own filtering, and you pay £2 a lead, or you get Google to do the filtering and you pay £15-20. What do you want to do? But if you have lots of plumbers, then the leads that are not in London, you can sell to the other plumbers.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay.
see.
So this is where but you know, even if you sell at again, this is where if you work very well with your customer, a plumber in the UK would be happy to, for example, to have a job, pay for a job, maybe at £50. Okay, so if your cost is £15 or £20, you can still make a good revenue by using the bot to filter the quality of the lead and giving the plumber a customer. Okay, because it's more verified leads. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use voice AI for you know, these trade services. But then, you know, for example, accountants in the UK, accountants are willing to pay £150 per lead for good quality leads.
Okay.
So and this is where Noti has a huge advantage, because you don't, you know, if you are imagine you're a marketing agency where you are very good on Google advertising, or very good on Facebook. You don't need to make money on monthly retainers. You can just make money on leads, because you can say to a client, okay, for every lead I give you, you give me £150. Then the marketing agency could just run lots of Facebook and Google ads, use Noti to filter, and then just sell to the accountants. And there's many ways of doing it, because you can say to the accountant, I'm going to give you an exclusive lead, maybe for £150, or I'm going to give you a lead at £70 or £75, but I'm going to be selling it to 4 different accountants. So you're one of 4. So you know, your cost of advertising is still the same, but you're now selling to 4 people. If you sell them at £70, then you could be selling at £280 for that particular lead, but to 4 different accountants. Okay,
Gotcha.
and Noti can you know, this is where you can see things can grow very quickly for you as a marketing agency, or you as the AI voice builder, depending on what position you want to play.
Gotcha. No, that's great. That's great. Great ideas. Yeah.
These are all like
So
secret sauce we will have in the community coming up as well. We have been discussing on how we can do like step by step, take it through, because on a concept level it's really nice, but then you still have to do the implementation, and that's what we want to come up with, like just exactly show the community that we have set it up, how it's running. Sorry, Shah.
And that's why
Alfredo, we have to choose our target, because in London a plumber is between
I know.
50
Same in Canada.
$50, and here in Bogota and Mexico is between $4 or $8.
No, I know.
So-
For Mexico, for Latin America, is not a good use case, but for Canada, it is.
Yeah, but it's a business case for depending on.
Yeah,
But
as a
I don't know what
marketing
happened
agency,
with the companies who make a dates for a plumber, big companies. Maybe it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
you just need to choose a different market, or you choose local market at different businesses who makes more
Exactly.
money. That's it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a, but yeah, I mean, you can be a global business, right? You are a marketing agency, so you can sell it anywhere in the world.
True.
Or
Maybe-
maybe we have to work as a plumber in London.
No, thank you. No.
So
Really don't have the skill.
look, I think that you know and that's why we as Noti has been offering our advertising, our images and videos to our community, because all those videos and images have proven to work. So that helps with the marketing side. So what we're actually providing you is a blueprint for a business model. So you can we provide you with a technology, we provide you with the business model, and we provide you with the advertising. So the things that we can't provide you is your entrepreneurship, your ability to run a business. But everything else, everything that we can share, we'll be sharing.
So that advertisement that it's there, I've seen it, but so part of it is what you have used on your ads and stuff like that, like at least the copy, the message.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So and now so when we first started, if you look at our advertising, our images, we don't really talk about AI a lot. We talk about having a loyal employee, having an employee that can work 24/7, having an employee that can always answer telephones, never missing a call. So we are talking to business people, not technology people.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
and now we are creating a new set of advertising where we're talking about because the voice AI market, at least in the UK and the US, has moved on. Because when we first started, most people are saying, I don't know what is voice AI, I don't understand.
Mhm.
But more people are now saying, I've heard my competitor using a voice agent, I need one. So
Right.
our now advertising is why choose our agency over another agency? Maybe because we are better service, we're better quality, we're better price, we've got better systems. So our advertising is now changing to reflect that there's a lot more people asking for voice AI compared to 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because maybe, I mean, just quickly, I know you were gonna show us something, Abhijit, but just
No, it's
quickly,
okay. This is all
as an idea for you guys, like at least, and I guess Marcelo will be in the same boat, similar to me. But the way I'm thinking is that you guys obviously are in markets that are not emergent, like in Latin America. You guys are well established already. You have a proven concept and stuff. So the advantages that I see here in Latin America, first of all, is that we are emerging markets still. But I've been doing a lot of research, and for example, Mexico is growing like crazy in terms of like embracing e-commerce. More and more people are using cell phones with internet and stuff like that. And in terms of digital marketing, the report that I ran through Gemini the other day is that in Mexico, the ad spend in general is like 80% cheaper than the US. So there's advantage here in Mexico. And I will say Latin America that the cost per click is really cheap in general in any of the areas. So if you guys are open to eventually, if we can do some kind of partnership in the sense of like with your knowledge, with your proven stuff, and we can open these markets, not just as using Noti the way we are planning to, but in a way of like, you know what I mean? Like a partnership where we exploit these markets with what you already done. I'll just leave it open if you guys are interested eventually.
Yeah, that's a good thought. I think we definitely have to look forward for that. Like as soon as we are over this initial marketing
Sure.
where we are going, we have to explore different markets as well. We're also in contact with people from Abu Dhabi. I think other day Michael have joined. I've seen. So we are also trying to crack some deal over there as well with one of the largest VoIP provider. And yeah, of course, like these are something we have to see. Like it's just we can only focus on that part once our basic things are sorted and built. That's what
Of
we are
course.
trying to do right now. Um, and speaking of the marketing videos, this is actually running in my local. It's still not there, but this will hopefully be coming later this night, tonight or tomorrow. It was supposed to come yesterday night, but it didn't because we have been still doing the testing. So in terms of marketing video, what we are doing earlier, we had to like send us email and we would be rebranding and sending to you. But now if you go to the marketing videos section, you will see something like this as a screen, a new screen. After this goes to production, you will see that. And you can add your branding asset here. So you can add your logo, you can add your intro video, your branded intro video in 16:9 format, 9:16 format, outro video as well, and outro video in both format. And what this service is going to do is, let's say this is like one video and it's just a simple video. So, okay, so let's say this is the video that you want to deploy for your business. All you do is like download video, and then you can select, do you want just a logo embedding? Do you want a full rebrand? That means it will do automatic, your intro and outro in your video, and then it will download for you. And this is something coming tonight, hopefully tomorrow, if not tonight. And that means all of our assets, now what we'll do is start to upload the assets, and then you will be able to run through this, and whatever you feel like really interesting or something that you can deploy to your business, you can just straight away download it, change it, maybe just change the language if you want to. You can do all of this stuff. The only thing that I would still say is, because this this contents will be reused, especially let's say in advertising. So if you are planning to use any of these contents in advertising, you make sure to change the hooks and the hook words and text, because generally what happens is, if you run like the advertising engine doesn't like a same video with the hook and everything too many times. So if you're planning to use any of this video, we would of course give you the guideline how to do that. We would say that just change the hook message and the hook content, and keep the rest of the video same. That's not going to change anything. It's the hook that Facebook or Google, they'll really track that you are not just stealing someone else's content and using for advertising. So you can change that and reuse it. We will of course do the guideline and everything on that one, but this is coming very soon.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, now coming back to the feature that we have done, and we are very, very excited, was this. I already created a video as well, is this unified portal. And the very idea was that as we are adding more and more platform, and the same thing that you said just a few minutes before, right? That what happens if retail changes something, or Vapi changes something, and or there is a new competitor in the market. And that means for you, it's a completely new learning curve. We don't want that. We don't want you to, like, because you're already part of Noti, which is a white label branded platform. We don't want you to like relearn how Vapi works. Like in Vapi, it's assistant, but in retail, it's called agents, and in Vapi, it's called knowledge base. Somewhere it's called document. So you have, like, if you think about 8 providers, that means now you have to learn 8 different systems. We definitely don't want that. So that is why we thought we'll create a very simple UI, and UI that you can use for whatever agent you are using. Using Vapi or Ultravox or Nova or 11 Labs, the interface will be more or less same. And the interface will ask you to choose your customer first. And as soon as you choose your customer, your customer can actually go. So this is your customer portal, right? Like the branded one. So you ask your customer that, hey, can you please upload your knowledge base, like whatever you want to have, maybe your pricing or FAQ and everything. So they go to the knowledge base section in their portal, and they basically just upload the documents here, right? Or create a folder, upload the documents. Or they can now also add website URLs. So like if I do my so if I do like this.
So is it ready now? Because I think last week you said we have to wait for something, or
No, so yes, you have to wait. You have to wait for the embedding service. So we are not embedding, but you can still ask your customer to use this feature, because what we are doing now, because we don't have the embedding service yet, is we are going to upload this to Retail as a knowledge base or WAPI as a knowledge base directly. Whereas when we have our own embedding service, then we will not upload to them. And the reason is because Retail actually charges you, or WAPI actually charges you for knowledge base. So they charge you approximately $8. I think we mentioned that here. So when you try, so it says you that first 10 knowledge base Retail give you for free, but anything beyond that they charge you $8 per month for every new knowledge base. We don't want you to incur that cost, because the idea here is once we have our embedding service live, then once your customer has updated the document, that knowledge is within Naughty, and all these agents, whether it's Retail, WAPI, or our own, or 11 Labs, they are going to call our service as a function call and get the knowledge, rather than get access to the knowledge base. They don't need to access to the knowledge base. So they would just do a function call and get the information.
Okay.
And the way it works is, even for web pages, you can, like for my domain, it found all the links that I have in my website. And there's over 500 pages that it's got. Of course, you don't want 500. So you can deselect all, you can only select how many they want. And this you can do yourself. Like your customer is completely not technical. They don't know what knowledge base is. They're afraid to click places. Now, as a partner, you can come to this, like, let's say I log out, and let's say you are onboarding your partner, and all you do is just go to this, you're onboarding your customer, and your customer is onboarded now, and not this one.
Yeah, I saw that video where you explained how to go.
Yeah, so you can go to the customer base, and you can actually help them upload the document yourself as a partner, and then once they upload that will be available in the unified portal. So now if you go to Retail AI and try to create an agent, and then you select that customer, you get to see all of their knowledge bases. And
what about the latency? Or is that something that we need to test?
Latency in the actual agent?
Yeah, in terms of like if the knowledge base is with Naughty, but we're working with Retail, and
it's immediate. Like as soon as I create the agent, it's gonna create the knowledge base in Retail.
Okay.
So it's immediate. And this also tracks, for example, this one, I already used it, and I have already created a Retail knowledge base for this particular knowledge base. So if I create a new agent, but we use the same knowledge base, Naughty is not going to create a new Retail knowledge base. It is always going to try and save your cost. So it will say that Retail knowledge base already exists. If you want to use it, use it. We are not going to create the knowledge base again. We are just going to use that in the agent creation reference.
Okay.
So this is like a bit of intelligent way we have done it. And you can also view all the files. Like you can download the file and see what they have uploaded. Is it all right or not? So this is the knowledge base part. And then once your knowledge base is selected, let's say if you want to use a knowledge base, now you can also add functions. So how the function work is, again, same thing. Your customer goes into their, like the video you have seen probably, right? The customer goes into the customer portal, and then they just log in quickly. And then they connect their app, whatever app they want to connect or they have. And as we said, we have almost 500 apps that we can integrate. We just do it slowly as we need. And Let's say someone using Go High Level, but maybe your customer is using, you are selling to e-commerce business and they are using Shopify, so they can connect their Shopify account and everything. So as they do that, all the tools that they have only connected is going to now appear in your customer portal. Sorry, in this unified portal. So if I do add function call, this will load all the tools that customer have connected, which is this many only.
Nice.
As soon as it will add, as soon as your customer add a new one, that will appear here, and all the tools. For example, if you think about, if you only see this five app, you have access to 104 tools now at the moment. That's like
Wow.
huge. And the way you set up is very easy. Like if you want to set up Gmail, and you are creating an agent which will send email or create an email draft, all you do just click there, fill it up if there is anything that you need to fill, or if you don't need to fill, that's fine, the agent will fill it up, and then you can set up the message and everything, and just click save function call, and this tool is ready to be deployed with your AI agent. Now imagine if you have to do the same thing, a create email tool you have to create in retail. You need to know how the API spec works. You need to create a custom function call, and then you have to also know how to get this token from Google. Okay, and then you set
Wow.
everything up there in retail, and still it might break once that token expires, because Google is not going to give you an unlimited token. They are only going to give you like a 1 hour or 1 day or 30-day token. That's it, right? After 30 days, that token is going to expire, and as soon as it expires, your agent is going to stop working, because your agent can't create a Gmail email anymore. And using this function call, you are not having any of those headaches. You are simply adding this with 2 clicks, and Naughty will manage the token for you. So it will manage every time the token is expired. This will automatically renew the tokens and everything else. And what retail is basically doing, retail is not connecting with Google. Retail is always connecting with Naughty. So retail is calling Naughty, hey, can you please send this email? And Naughty is managing all the tokens and everything internally, and calling Google and sending the email or drafting
Wow.
the
Okay. Yeah, following.
right.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
yeah, so a lot of this technical issues that we have today with retail, Vapi, or any of this platform, that we can solve it with Naughty. And the best thing is, as I always said, the main power of Naughty platform is you can move around. So tomorrow, if you want to move this agent to Vapi, because Vapi is offering something really nice, or maybe this customer is not happy with the voice, and now you want to move to 11 Labs, all you do is just go to agent migration and just do 1-click migration, and it will do the migration internally, because all the tool set, all the knowledge base is within Naughty. So for the migration, it's easy for us to do the migration. Whereas as a agency owner or as a partner, if you want to do it manually, that is like a lot of work, and you have to do testing, you have to make sure everything works, and that's a lot of work as well. So this is I think we thought of would be a really powerful feature. At the moment, it's only available with retail. We are slowly going to roll it out for I think first we'll roll it out for 11 Labs as soon as we bring 11 Labs, and then we roll it out for Vapi and Ultravox as well. And this is I think is gonna make it so easy to sell any number of clients. Because remember, if you go to marketing demo that we have, right, so if you go to like marketing demo, we have all of these sectors demo already available, right? So what we are going to do is just deploy a demo. Let's say you have got a legal service intake client. All you do is just quickly deploy this demo and map it to the customer, and then ask the customer, oh, you are using ServiceNow, that's good, can you please connect your ServiceNow from the portal? And then he connects the ServiceNow portal, and all you do is just come here, edit agent, select the tools, and that's it. Your legal service intake bot is ready, like within 10 minutes.
Well, okay.
Right? because this has all the, of course you have to test, you have to make changes and
Yeah.
everything. But all I'm trying to say is, without Naughty, if you want to do that, that will take a lot of time. And with Naughty, it would be really, really easy. And it will be really, really easy for your customer as well, because if they're a big business, they would probably not want to share their API key to you, because you're a
Mhm.
new part, you're a new business. They don't still trust you to share their Salesforce API key or something. So with
Right.
the platform, you are basically saying, hey, you don't have to share to me anything over email or anything. You just go to the portal and connect your Salesforce, and we'll take care of it. Right.
Okay.
So
Okay. Wow.
that's the main thing. And I don't know, and I'm quite sure that no one yet is, at least in the voice AI space, no other platform is offering this kind of integrations. This is really what we are, I would say, gonna use it for our marketing as well, because I think this is gonna make a lot of agency businesses life easy, especially the ones who don't know technical as such. They can still
Totally.
create a lot of complex agents, basically. And the
No,
other thing that I have not talked as well, intentionally because it's not ready, is there is something also hidden there. If you go to these basic settings, and if you click this advanced agent, what this does is, in the advanced settings, it creates this really nice UI. And here you can add step. So this is more like step by step. You can say step is greeting, and say, here in this step, please greet the customer, right? The customer. And then you say what the agent should. So this is like a really step by step flow that you can create. This is not yet tested. I wouldn't, that is why I have not spoken about it. And here you can say what happens next, right? And you haven't created a step yet, so we'll just delete this for now, for example. So first you greet the customer, and then here you say hello, welcome to whatever business. Okay, so this is one step. And you can also specify the tools that is available to this step. So in the welcome step, there is probably no tools. So just click save step, and this step is ready. And now you add another step. And in this step, let's say you want to say, what is your biggest challenge, or something like that. Okay, your biggest challenge, for example. This is the step. I'll just do same thing. I'm just taking an example.
yeah.
Right. And now you have two node created. Now you go back to this node, and you said what happens next, and you select this node, right? And you can also set when you go to this node, like when customer says, when you say that a customer,
Conditionals.
there is an issue or something like that, right? And now automatically this connection is created. So this will help you step by step build your conversational flow.
This is
And
amazing.
this is upcoming, and we wanted to keep it very, very interactive. We don't want it to give like the regular node based flow, because for someone who is not technical, a node based flow is really complicated for them to understand. That is why we said we keep a button, and the button itself will say all this field, just step name, what the agent should do in this step, what the agent should say in this step, and what happens next. And in this way, you can create a really complicated like conversational flow which the agent must follow. Because with system prompt, there is still chance that the agent will say something else. But with conversational flow, you are really making it restrictive in a flow how you want this to behave. And a lot of business actually need that. A lot of business need that control. And that's why we are building this. It's still not ready. I would still say that's why I haven't yet talked about it. But this is also part of this unified UI that we have created, which will have and then you can also select where the conversation start. So you can say you can start at greeting, or you can start at many other places, and then you have all these controls built in this UI. this is going to be really powerful, I would say, once this is ready.
Of course, they look. So just quickly, I know we're basically 10:01 already. Well,
Yeah,
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly, this is amazing, Abhijit. Is this because that was my next question? Like when you're showing all these integrations about 500, having this flow, this integration internally, is it kind of like instead of using Zapier or Make.com or 8n, we can do this through that?
No,
Is
this
that
is more about controlling the conversational flow. Like there is a business who says that I want the agent to do this, then this. So you get a script from the business and you want to set up the voice agent. So that is where this comes in. The Zapier and N8N thing is not part of Not AI Pro platform. For that, we have another feature we planned, but it's probably far away, which is called workflow. So the workflow is where you create. This is of course coming soon. This is where you create those N8N and Zapier kind of workflow, but this will come later.
okay?
The one that
So
I'm
this is
showing.
just for the conversation flow, like you said. It's kind of like the flow that I see on retail. There is a flow there in retail.
Exactly,
Is that-
same thing. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Right, so that is like more advanced feature, I would say, but this will give your agent more mature and production ready agents, because now
Yeah.
you are controlling every step of the conversation, what the agent should do, and it
Okay.
should not skip any part of it. So yeah, that's something is coming as well. So just wanted to show.
So before we go, so Sean has asked on Discord, any idea when knowledge-based support will be available for VAPI?
Yeah, so once the retail UI is now ready, so we just need to move it to VAPI, and that's what we can do next. My initial plan was to do for 11 labs first, but it makes sense because we already have VAPI. We can go to VAPI and then we can bring to 11 labs later on. So yeah, maybe next week we can target, but let's keep like 3-4. Let's keep, I would say, 10 days in just to have some extra days in our hand to test everything and stuff. So yeah, maybe in next 5 to 10 days it should be there. But yes, this is already ready. This is already working. All we have to do is just take it to VAPI and Ultravox and all this stuff. And even in Ultravox, I remember many weeks, months before I checked that, and they had something called call stages, as a concept of call stage. This is exactly what we are building with this conversational flow. You are defining the stage of the call at every step, and you are just making this is like a really comprehensive voice AI experience.
Wow, that's awesome. That's great.
Right? So yeah, that's all really. I think again we are 5 minutes over. These conversations are always exciting. Yeah, and if you have any questions, again, those who will be watching it, please join the Discord, because that's where you get to know of all of this before this weekly call. So that's the place you want to be in, definitely.
Sounds good. Awesome. Thank you, guys. It's amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
See you next week.
See you. Thank you, Vijay.